Boys, it's Dan. Welcome to a Premier League game week number 22. But before we get into the game week, we have some tragic news to bring you. On Friday, we lost one of arguably the greats of the tribute, the Triad of Manchester. The third member of that tribute of three is the one, the only Dennis Law. We sadly lost Dennis on Friday. So here is some of Dennis's goals, and Dennis, rest in peace, mate. You are honestly a fantastic legend of manhood. Rest in peace, mate. Here is a montage on Dennis Law.
Across for Law! Dennis has done it!
We go and get our love and support in the comments for Dennis. But without further ado, let's get into game week 22 of the Premier League. Yes, boys, we have had an interesting game week last week. There were some big games and some shocks. Let's see what happens in this week. Boys, if you want a discount on your energy, go and get my discount in the description. New Dan10 at checkout. Peace. And starting off, no lunchtime game in the Premier League this week, Kent. Their first game is AFC Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Now, AFC Bournemouth played against Newcastle. They won 4-1. They ended the one of Newcastle's unbeaten record in any competition, let's say. And Nottingham Forest won again at Southampton by 3-0. This game here could be a lively game. Of course it could be. And I'm going to say it'll be Bournemouth 2, Nottingham Forest 3. And we have a guest this week. His name is Mr. Sam T.
So the first match is Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Forest have actually been doing well recently, so for them I'm going to say 2-1 to Nottingham Forest.
Here we go. It's ending this game. We now go to Brighton and Hove Albion versus Everton. The high flying Toffees after their win. Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, you've heard that correctly. Everton beating Tottenham Hotspur by 3-2. And Bournemouth and Brent and Brighton beating Manchester United by 3-1. We'll get onto Man United and their dismal display late on in the game week because we need a performance basically. Let's say that. But Brighton Everton down on the south coast in on the south coast in Sussex. I'm going to go with Brighton 2, Everton 0. Brighton looking very good. And Sam, what are you saying in this game?
The next match is Brighton versus Everton. I'm gonna say 3-0 to Brighton.
We now move to Liverpool versus Ipswich. Now Liverpool almost had a scare against Brentford, but Darwin Núñez gave them a big boost. 2 goals in the 90th minute to seal that win for Newcastle for Liverpool, and they play against Ipswich's team who got battered 6-0 by Man City. But I think it will go the same way again. This time 2 less goals by 4-0 to Liverpool. And Sam, what are you saying in this game?
Liverpool versus Ipswich. This will be a hard game for Ipswich because they're still in the bottom of the table. So they're going to need to give it their all for this game. But I'm going to say 2-0 to Liverpool.
We now go to Southampton versus Newcastle. Now these two teams have just lost their last game. Newcastle losing to Bournemouth, and Southampton losing 3-0 to Nottingham Forest. Newcastle, I think, will probably win this game. Newcastle will win it. Southampton are having an absolutely dismal season. And I'm going to say Southampton 0, Newcastle 3. And Sam, what are you saying in this game? We now move to Wolves versus Arsenal. Now, Arsenal, they let a 2-goal lead slip away to Aston Villa. 2-2 and finishing that game in the end. So that was an interesting game to be able to watch because you think Arsenal 2-0, they're in control, game over. No, but Aston Villa and Ollie Watkins and Newton Newmans had otherwise. I'm going to go with a Arsenal win of 3-0 against Wolves. And Sam, what are you saying in this game?
Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Arsenal. I'm gonna go 1-0 to Arsenal.
Now move, hang on boys, bear me. We now move to arguably the biggest game on Saturday is Man City versus Chelsea. Pep Guardiola against Enzo Maresca. Now Chelsea got back to winning ways at Wolves. Man City put 6 past Ipswich, but they're playing against a Chelsea team who we know are very good in attack. Got a lot of players. I'm going to go with an absolute yellow fest of Chelsea 2, Man City 2.
Man City versus Chelsea. That could go either way because, well, both teams were good, but currently Man City are doing shit. So, I'm going to say a draw.
And that brings the Saturday games to we now move on to the Sunday. Now, starting off with Crystal Palace versus Brentford. Now, Brentford at home lost 2-0 to Liverpool. And Crystal Palace, on the other hand, played against West Ham and got a victory at the London Stadium by 3-2 as well. Was it 3-2? No, I don't think it was. Was it 3-2? Yes, it was. Yes, 3-2 it was in that game as well. Another crazy game as well. But I'm going to go Brentford to win it 2-1. And Sam, what are you saying in this game? We now go
The London derby between Brentford and Crystal Palace. I wonder if Crystal Palace will be using that new guy from Millwall who they just signed. But I'm gonna say that's a draw because both teams, well, Brentford's been doing really well and Crystal Palace have just signed a new player who could do well for them.
So, to Tottenham Hotspur versus Leicester City. Now, you probably say yes, scratching my head because Spurs are very, very weird at the moment. They lost 3-2 to Everton, like I said. They aren't in the best of form. They've lost the last 2 games in the league. They drew to Arsenal. No, they lost to Arsenal, and they lost to Everton. Spurs fans, leave your comments. What is going on? I mean, to be fair, I can't fucking talk. We're shit on as well. Down a bit later, can I? Yeah, not I can't talk. We're all so bad as it is. Yeah, Tottenham Hotspur against Leicester. Leicester need to find some form from somewhere. Ruben Van Nistelrooy has a mission on his hands against an inconsistent and injury-hit Spurs. I think they can get the result of 2-2 between Spurs and Leicester City. We now go.
Spurs versus Leicester. Leicester haven't had the best of seasons. So I'm gonna say 2-0 to Spurs.
Move to Aston Villa versus West Ham. Now, Villa, as we know, are very good. West Ham are beginning to find their feet under Graham Potter. They are finding their form, but honestly, Aston Villa to win it by 3-0. And Sam, for the penultimate time, mate, what are you saying in this game? We now
Aston Villa versus West Ham, the Claret and Blue derby. I'm gonna say 3-1 to Aston Villa.
move to our last game of the game week, which is at 7 o'clock on Sunday at Craven Cottage, is Fulham versus Manchester United. Now, Fulham played against Ipswich and won, but Manchester played against Blimmin Brighton and we lost. We are playing so bad at the moment. We got Rangers in the Europa League on yesterday, as you're seeing this. Oh, but we need to find a result from somewhere. We need to find some fun somewhere. We need to get this team playing well. I'm confident, but I'm not confident at all. I'm gonna go 2-1 win to us. We'll nick it just. And Sam, what are you saying in this game?
The last match, Fulham versus Man United. I'm gonna say a 1-0 draw, just because Man United haven't been performing at their best recently.
Thank you for watching the video. Sorry for the no play video because there was games. For some reason they did games Tuesday and tonight. Oh, Wednesday and It was a mess. I had to do it on the same day as Champions League because I wasn't doing that. They didn't check with us at all. But I will see you lot on when is it? Next week for Premier League 22. What? Or 23 even. Game week 23 this week is, not 22. I'll see you next week for 24, boys. We are getting down to the end of the season. What is happening? What will Man United pick up some form? Will there be a clear pitch on the bottom? Find all that out and a lot more next week. Dennis Law, rest in peace, mate.